Just over a week ago, former Republican congressman and nationally syndicated radio host Joe Walsh announced that he is running for the 2020 GOP presidential nomination against President Donald Trump. Sunday, I did an extensive, 45-minute, interview with Walsh for my podcast about the Trump presidency. For the purposes of full disclosure, Joe and I are friends and we discussed, rather extensively, his plans for his candidacy well before he publicly announced. We even talked, informally, about me working for his campaign in an official position, but we never agreed to actually do that. Part of why that didn't happen is that Walsh suddenly made communication, at least with me, nearly impossible just before and after declaring his candidacy. Frankly, this was infuriating, especially since there were several aspects of his launch which could have used the counsel of a conservative, never-Trump colleague like me. A few days ago, we finally spoke and hashed things out. Walsh, to his credit, apologized for how he handled being overwhelmed by the media chaos surrounding his announcement, and we agreed that he should come on the podcast to clear the air and get into detail about the real nature of his long-shot run against Trump. The result was an extremely candid and enlightening discussion about a myriad of topics. Here are some of the highlights. What it is like to be at the center of a huge media firestorm without a large campaign apparatus. Why he insists that, if everything breaks his way, he can actually beat Trump. Why history and principle are significant elements of why he is running. His strong denial that this is all a ploy for personal attention and career advancement. Whether he would have gotten in if someone like John Kasich already had, and whether he will get out of the race if someone like that does, or if Trump decides to shock the world by not running. Whether George Conway or Anthony Scaramucci are likely to join his campaign. Why he is totally convinced that if Trump is the GOP nominee that the 2020 elections will be a bloodbath of Republicans across the board, solely because of Trump. Why he says that the news media is wrong to claim that he ever believed in birtherism, or that he is racist. Whether there is a double standard to how much his past mistakes have already been vetted by the news media and how Trump was handled in the 2016 GOP nominating process. How the former radio talk show host admitted that in the era of Trump, being a conservative radio talk show host is a lot like being a prostitute. Why he was the only pro-Trump talk show host to go against the tide and become anti-Trump. Why he agrees with me that the Republican Party under Trump has become Cult 45. What he thought of the conservative media's reaction to his announcement. His reaction when I described his viral interview with Fox News' Stuart Varney, in which Varney bizarrely claimed that Trump has never lied, was like something straight out of George Orwell's book 1984. What really happened when he got duped by Sacha Baron Cohen for his HBO show, and whether he would consider doing another bit with him for his campaign. Whether he really ghosted his original campaign manager. How he reacted when I told him that he should have used my suggestion for his campaign slogan. Here are the two primary links where you can listen to the entire, rather unique, interview. Apple Whoosh. John Ziegler is a senior columnist for Media ET. He hosts a weekly podcast focusing on news media issues and is documentary filmmaker. You can follow him on Twitter at @ZigManFreud or email him at johns@MediaET.com. Have a tip we should know? Tips@MediaET.com. Let's block ads.